Hey there, it's Drutter. Today is May the 1st, 2015, and it's a gorgeous spring day here in Vancouver, Canada. This video is a quick introduction to how I fertilize organically. I'm inside my greenhouse now with my heirloom tomato plants. I've got 20 healthy Amish paste seedlings and 20 healthy Sweet 100 seedlings. They're getting bigger now with several sets of leaves. And as you can tell, the roots are doing nicely in there. These are nearly ready to be transplanted into the garden. I'm just waiting on some warmer weather with temperatures about 10 degrees or higher at night, maybe 2 or 3 more weeks. But as you can probably tell, they're about ready for a drink. I like to let my plants dry out almost fully before watering them with fertilizer, which is essentially their vitamins and minerals. They make energy from the sun, but they need to soak up basic building blocks out of the soil through their roots to grow. So if they're thirsty when you fertilize them this way, then they get a really good feeding, I find. And you can also fertilize other ways, like mulching dry material into the soil itself and then watering it down into the roots, but making a kind of a tea out of it works the best for me. I only give my plants organic fertilizers, nothing involving industrial produced chemicals like ammonia. This stuff may be cheap and convenient, but I don't want it near my food, and I don't want to support the companies that produce it. Some examples of organic, nutrient-rich plant foods you can dissolve into water are composted organic vegetarian kitchen scraps and composted crushed organic free-range eggshells. Kelp and other types of seaweed are an excellent organic way to help promote root growth in your plants. Worm castings, or poop, are nutrient dense and free, and as an added bonus, the worm removes any toxins from the soil before it poops it back out again into these little convenient packets that you can collect and put into your compost tea. Some gardeners like to use actual tea in their compost tea, so I've made up a batch of tea here. You can use old tea bags if you want, or new tea bags, doesn't matter. You can rip open the tea bags and just throw all the leaves into your compost tea as well. To give your seedlings a taste of what's to come when you do transplant them, you can also give them a bit of the rich soil that you'll be transplanting them into when the time for that comes. It just gets them used to the types of chemicals and trace elements that are in the soil that you will be giving to them. Check out my garlic while you're here. And depending on your soil conditions, you may also want to add some mineral-based components, such as lime, to adjust the soil's pH. Animal products like bone meal, blood meal, fish meal, and manure can also be organic and can be used with this process, but I prefer to leave them out since I have access to all the other options and I prefer not to support animal agriculture. Then just mix everything together with enough water to irrigate all your plants. If possible, let the water stand overnight. I've had this water standing for a week or so already, so that's fine, ready to go. Composted scraps and eggshell. Scoop of topsoil, some of that kelp, bunch of worm castings, lots of nutrients in there, and some tea. No cream or honey. Just give it a really good stir. If you can let it soak for a while, that's even better. All the nutrients dissolve up into the water. Then just water as normal, and you'll notice that it looks very nutrient dense, but that's misleading. This is actually not that nutrient dense compared to the chemical fertilizers. So if you're an organic farmer, you are going to have to fertilize a little bit more often than you normally would if you're using the chemicals. Once your tomato plants have started to put on some leaves and starting to grow at least a few inches tall, that's when you need to start fertilizing. And it depends on what kind of soil you're using, of course, but if you're using fairly nutrient deficient soil, like some peat moss or just some starter mix or something, then you're going to want to start fertilizing probably every 2 weeks or so as they start to get bigger.
The food they claiming healthy is already altered chemically. Fruits and vegetables are being modified genetically. Homegrown organic foods obviously the remedy, but try and grow a garden and the FDA won't let it be. Do you know your enemy? They plans and who they posse is. Fast food, tobacco, alcohol industry lobbyists, bank, soil weapons, and pharmaceutical companies. They all in this together cause misery's where the money be. The government's a business, that's the bottom line. You and I are nothing more than dollar signs. They don't care about us. They enslave us when they bury us in dead.
When your organic fertilizer is used up, don't forget to use all the sludge in the bottom of the bucket. Go ahead and put a little bit in each plant, and then next time you water, that'll soak in and you won't have to use fertilizer. You can just use plain water next time. I love that stuff. If you're confident that your roots have spread throughout your growing pots, then go ahead and water until it just starts to drip to make sure that you got your nutrients spread all the way through. They'll soak it up, especially if you have good weather on the way like I think I do. That's how I fertilize my organic plants here in Vancouver, Canada. If you have any suggestions for me, you can leave it in the comments section down below. Until next time, keep it real, keep it organic.